We're going to go through some of the pictures. I'll describe them to you from the stupid Met Gala. So, the Met Gala, to me, the Met Gala is basically the cultural version of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is a bunch of journalists who all agree with each other politically, getting together to laugh at people in the middle of the country who don't agree with them, but are too unsophisticated to be part of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's nerd prom. It's this self-flattering display of insularity. And that's exactly what the Met Gala is. It's people dressed up like idiots. If you saw somebody dressed up like this walking down the street, you'd probably seek to have them incarcerated. You'd probably seek to have them, at least they'd be put on a 5150 hold, right? I mean, you'd actually want to check into their mental stability. But now they show up and they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for these particular outfits, and then we are told that this is the height of culture. These are people who understand culture. That's what these are, people who understand culture. Straight from the streets of Pan Am. Pretty incredible. So, Katy Perry, for example, dressed up, apparently doing some cosplay of Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. So that's pretty exciting stuff. She is dressed with a chandelier around her head and then a chandelier around her waist. Later, apparently, she would dress up as a hamburger as well. This is all camp, right? Now, again, what is this supposed to do? Well, it's supposed to play with you, right? It's supposed to gaslight you. So you look at this and you think, what is wrong with this person? This looks ridiculous. And then, well, you're not in on the joke, guys. If you were truly culturally aware, you would understand that this is camp. This is high style. And it's mocking it. Why can't you just play with us? Why can't you just be part of our ironical approach to fashion? Why can't you just do all this stuff? Well, because I think that your ironical approach does not merely extend to fashion. I think that it extends to politics as well. I think that there is a cultural gap that basically suggests you're in the in crowd or you're in the out crowd. I think that cynicism about art, cynicism about objective standards of beauty, cynicism about all of this stuff leads to a great gap because there are universals in human culture. And yet we are attempting to break down these universals, and it's irritating to people who believe in the universals. Meaning most people look at this crap and they say it's crap. But they are told, no, you just don't, you're unsophisticated. You're a boor if you don't understand why Cardi B is dressed up as a blood vessel. You don't understand. By the way, Cardi B basically is dressed up as a blood vessel. She apparently is wearing some sort of weird, what is she, like a capillary system? She's dressed up in a giant feathered red cape. Apparently, I'd heard a rumor that there were bodies that she had drugged under there and she'll rob them later. But we don't know. She's a sophisticate, though, Cardi B. We know she's a sophisticate because of her music, which is incredibly sophisticated. And if you don't understand the sophistication and you prefer to listen to, actual sophisticated music, that's because you don't understand the nature of ironical camp. And then you've got Lady Gaga, who went through a series. She basically went through an entire career change over the course of the Met Gala. She started off dressed as, I don't even know, a person who was attacked by a jellyfish. She started off dressed in this giant pink fabric thing with a bunch of men holding umbrellas around her. And after, I guess she was the Duchess of Crazyland. And then after it turns out she lost her job as the Duchess of Crazyland, she was reduced to being a nanny. So here she is as Mary Poppins, I guess, she's holding her umbrella up high as she wears a black dress. I mean, things have gone really, really wrong for her ever since she didn't get Bradley Cooper, I guess. And then she downgraded even from this. She lost her job as a nanny, and she was forced to be a stripper, which is too bad. So, but this is all obviously high style, guys. And if you don't get the joke, that's just because you have no sense of humor. Don't you understand? If you see this stuff and you're like, why are all these rich people spending lots of money while being socialists on random crap, and we're supposed to cheer for them? Why? Then that's because you don't understand camp or irony, guys. Lena Dunham dressed up in a dress wearing rubber gloves, and it says on the front of her dress, rubberist, with a picture of the rubber gloves. I will admit, I was too innocent for this. I did not know what rubberism is or what a rubberist is. Apparently, it's somebody who has a rubber fetish. Good news, the rubber fetish is now over now that Lena Dunham is dressed in this. There will be no more humans with rubber fetishes after this particular outfit. And then Billy Porter showed up as well. So Billy Porter's whole shtick is to show up, apparently, at large-scale events dressed in outlandish things. This one, he I guess, dressed as effectively the guy from 300, like the villain from 300. He's carried in by a bunch of black guys with no shirts who presumably are supposed to be imitating slaves. I'm glad that he's allowed to get away with this. And this is apparently the height of camp. What a fabulous icon Billy Porter is for doing this sort of stuff. And then, of course, you have, there he is, Billy Porter, dressed in, as Birdman? As something from the Rio de Janeiro revelry? I'm confused. And then finally, you get to Jared Leto, who at least I found this somewhat hilarious. This at least is funny. So Jared Leto is dressed in apparently some sort of like 18th century Russian emperor costume, carrying a double of his own head. So he's carrying around his own head in his hand. But guys, if you think all of this is weird and off-putting, if you think maybe we've become too prosperous a society as a result of the fact that we are all looking at these people and laughing at them and with them, then it's only because you're not in on the joke. You wonder why the Trump revolution happened. Now, I know it's overused. This is why you got Trump, but this is the sort of stuff why you got Trump. Because your cultural betters will tell you they know more about morality, they know more about decency, they know more about how to raise children, they know more about how your money should be spent than you do. All of these people are wandering around holding replicas of their own heads at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. All of them are walking around dressed as Persian princes being carried by Nubian slaves or something. How do you get away with that? At the Metropolitan Museum of Art.